Welcome to the Longbox Paradox. I want to do a very special episode in memoriam of the passing of Stan Lee. Stan Lee was just a legend. From the time I was a child to now, he was omnipresent. He was one of the great statesmen of comics. I know there is a past with collaborators, with Ditko, Kirby, where the relationships were sour and falling outs for years. But I don't want to focus on that right now. For me, Stan Lee was like a friend growing up. You had, if you were watching Saturday morning Marvel cartoons like Spider-Man His Amazing Friends, he was the humble narrator and just always was this voice. And then when I did start getting into comics, Stan was there in the soapbox. You'd see him on TV. He brought Marvel to Hollywood and made some bad deals during bad times, but he did what he had to do to keep Marvel going and get money involved, especially during the crisis with the crash. But for me, I was an outcast. I didn't have many friends growing up, and comics, Marvel Comics, was always there for me. And I just wanted to voice my respect and love for Stan. It's been sad the past couple of years with his health, the things going on with his family and keepers. It just, you never wanted to see it end like that, and just hearing it today crushed me. I only got to meet Stan once, and it was at the MegaCon convention in Orlando. I was working at a booth with my local comic shop, and he had a thing bust that Stan was there signing, so I went over and for my friend and had him sign it. I asked him to write "It's clobbering time," and his handlers were like, "No, Stan's just going to sign his name." And Stan kind of winked at me, wrote "It's clobbering time," handed it back to me and said, "Sin on sinner." That weird interaction with him has stuck with me for years, and even now it's just a fun story to talk about with people. And I will always have a soft spot, even every time I see him doing his cameos in the Marvel movies. You kind of look forward to seeing what goofy thing he was going to be doing now. And right now, I love seeing the comic community, especially with how divisive and fractured it's been, come together at least to voice their love of Stan. I know there's some people who just want to shit on him, put some stuff out there that's not very flattering, but today's not the day for it. It really isn't. And I just felt that I needed to voice how I felt and my fond memories of growing up with Stan Lee as part of this weird omnipresent voice and personality. Yeah, he just made modern comics what they are. And it's weird that I had this weird pit in my stomach when I heard it. I just lost my mother this past year, and now it's like losing an old friend on top of that. My mother was very big on getting me into comics, so it all ties together one way or another. Anyway, I just felt I needed to say something about Stan and kind of give a weird eulogy of sorts. But as Stan would say, Excelsior, and be kind to each other. Good night.